sports and gambling in Indiana. With me today is my associate, Zach Bailey. Zach Bailey is the person in charge at this law firm for anything involving sports, casino, gambling, all those laws and all the ways you can get in trouble. So, Zach, give us an update. What is going on in the world of sports?
So sports are back. We're seeing some sports, basketball, hockey, and soccer. They created their own bubble. All the players come to one spot and they live in a bubble, and just play each other. So they came in and had a series of tests and everything to make sure that everybody's safe and healthy. Nobody enters, nobody leaves, and they've been able to get basketball and hockey and soccer back on track. It's sort of a modified way that they're ending the season out there.
And then what's going on with baseball? You keep hearing about all these players getting sick. I think Marlins got whole teams taken out or something. What's going on with that?
Baseball's not quite as good. They didn't do a bubble. So they've got players moving city to city, traveling with their teams. And it seems like if one player on a team gets sick, it kind of spreads through the entire team. I think the Marlins had 17 of the 30 players on their roster test positive, and we're seeing something similar with the St. Louis Cardinals. So they're still playing. They're postponing a lot of games, and they're being flexible with the schedule. So teams that are healthy are playing each other.
And what's going on with the Toronto team? They're not letting American teams go into Canada, but they're letting the Canadian teams come into America. What is going on with this?
Correct. So the Toronto Blue Jays, Canada's got pretty tight restrictions right now with Americans entering Canada. And so the country just would not clear people coming in for baseball. They saw it as recreational, not necessary. And so Toronto has had to come to the United States this year, and they're playing all their games here. Right now they're traveling, playing every game on the road until they can get a home stadium figured out.
And so you talk about this bubble. What's going on with football and basketball? Are they being bubbled too?
So basketball is bubbled. Football, they're not. But they're coming to training camp right now to get started for the season. And as they come in, they test the first day they appear to camp. Then they come back a few days later and test again. So it takes a couple negative tests to be cleared to begin practicing with the team. And there's going to be consistent testing throughout the season as well to make sure everybody's staying healthy.
And so what are these teams doing for fans? Are they letting fans come in, 25% capacity? What is the deal with these?
So each state has different rules on it. But right now, no fans are allowed in any baseball games. And it looks like that's how the NFL season is going to start as well. You might have just heard the Indianapolis 500 just announced that they're not going to have anybody in the stands this year either.
Yeah, they were going through 50%, then 25%, and now they've officially said no fans. That's going to be just sad. I mean, that's crazy. And so, based on what you know and your experience, what percentage of revenue is from fans attending these games, buying tickets, buying concessions, buying merchandise versus the money made purely on broadcasting and on TV?
So broadcasting and TV, that's a huge portion of what they make. It's interesting because baseball, they didn't get started for a long time because the players and owners were arguing about this. The players said, you can still pay us, more money than you're offering. And the owner said, no, we can't. We cannot afford it. The players wanted to take a look at the books and the owners wouldn't allow it. So especially in baseball, it's kind of a mystery how the revenue is distributed. So
the owners did not want to share that information with the players. Man, that's crazy. It's almost like they're trying to hide something. Okay, well, Zach. So since you have been the go-to person for sports gambling in Indiana, this was just absolutely huge when it started. We checked in about 6 months after it started, and it was just nonstop making money for everyone that was started these companies. How has the lack of sports in the last few months affected online gambling?
So it was still available. If you wanted to bet on sports during all this, you could. They were running promos on Russian ping pong during the day. So whatever you wanted to bet on, they were trying to find a way to give you a market for it. But even through all this, companies keep entering Indiana for the sports gambling. We've got 5 apps now that people use to bet on their phones. So it's still growing. I've actually been looking into the stock prices of companies like DraftKings, and they're on the rise, especially with sports coming back. So they still see this as a huge growth opportunity.
And so, Zach, back when sports gambling became legal, there were how many apps? Remind me.
When it first became legal, there were no apps. You had to go to a brick and mortar store. And then about a month after that, DraftKings rolled out as the first app. So they were sort of the leader in the marketplace right away. FanDuel came shortly thereafter, and you could see FanDuel and DraftKings jockeying for that market position. It's been almost 2 years, between a year and a half and 2 years now, and we're up to 5 apps. So there's a lot of money to be made for these companies, and they see the opportunity.
And so, we have lunch all the time, and Zach is showing me on these phones, these companies, they want you to download their app so bad. They're offering you free money, and then it makes the other apps try to match it. And then there's these crazy, like basically you have to be an idiot to lose bets. And so are you still seeing that with these 5 apps competing?
We are still seeing that, especially when golf started picking up again, with the NBA picking up again, with everybody coming back to these apps. These companies are fighting again to try to get you onto their apps. So we've been seeing a lot of those opportunities. Yeah.
Zach, how much money have you bet on Russian ping pong? You know what? Don't answer that. Don't answer that.
It's more than 0.
Well, this has definitely been something to do while people have been stuck at home during these crazy times. And, hey, if you're having fun, why not? As long as you can take care of your bills and family and stuff like that, have as much fun as you want. So, Zach, we'll check in with you again on sports and sports gambling here shortly. Thanks for talking with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you.